Rear Admiral Giovanni Bacordo has formally assumed the top post of the Philippine Navy. And the first thing on his agenda, modernization. Here's the report.
President Rodrigo Duterte led the change of command ceremony for the new chief of the Philippine Navy. Rear Admiral Giovanni Bacordo formally assumed his post as the Navy's 38th Flag Officer in command. He replaced Vice Admiral Robert M. Pedrad, who has reached the military's mandatory retirement age of 56. M. Pedrad took pride in eradicating corruption in the Navy. He talked about one of his proudest achievements, the establishment of PRISM, a website that monitors the status of contractors who win bids in the Navy. His heir, Bacordo, is from PMA's Hinirang class of 1987. The new chief has served the Philippine Navy for 36 years. Bacordo was the commander of the Philippine Fleet, where he was in charge in securing the country's territories in the West Philippine Sea in the fight against the CPP, NPA, and terrorist groups. One of his first orders is the retirement of 24 legacy or old ships. Bacordo said these vessels are slow and are no longer suited for long patrol hours in the seas.
Ang unang gagawin dyan ay it will be stripped off all that is functioning. Let's say the guns will be removed, everything that is functioning will be removed and be turned over to other Navy ships. After that step, it will be turned over to the Naval Logistics Center for the disposal process. So the disposal process, per COA regulation, it has to be by bidding. It has to be bidded out by weight. And the cost of the metal is also as determined by the COA.
Taking out these obsolete vessels would mean the Philippine Navy only has less than 100 ships. But Bacordo said, this is better since the fleet will be made up of fast-moving vessels that can be used longer.
Rather than have so many bottoms which have no speed, which can no longer sustain more than 10 days at sea, better to have lesser bottoms which are capable of longer patrol hours and can speed up to the desired speed.
He's also suggesting to upgrade maintenance procedures to preserve the Navy's assets. Bacordo also plans to ask permission from the government the use of the Hanjin shipyard in Subic. Its location is also ideal since it's near other naval units.
The Navy has expressed since January of 2019 its interest to occupy Hanjin, but we know very well of the financial aspects of it, of which it's beyond already the Philippine Navy. So it's the government's coming in, the SBMA, the BCDA, the Department of Finance, because Hanjin, that area is blessed with the deep sea harbor. Right now, none of our strategic vessels can be accommodated in any of the Navy facilities. Hanjin, at the minimum, has a depth of about 10 meters, which can accommodate our Tarlac-class landing dock, our Delphi-class frigate, and our future frigate. So that's why we want.
Duterte supports Bacordo's modernization bid.
I also recognize your full support for AFP modernization program, which seeks to provide our men and women in uniform the necessary equipment and skills to excel in their role as defenders of this nation. As the Philippine Navy sails towards its